Social media.
Unscrambled. Episode 4. Oh my God, you guys can't believe the show today. Welcome everyone to Social Media Unscrambled. We are Chris Kern and David Deutsch.
Hello.
And yes, hi David.
Hey, how are you, Chris?
And by the way, this is I wrote this, tell me if you like it. This is the single best 30-minute chunk of time you can invest in your social media effectiveness.
Boom. I love it.
There you go. So our website is socialmediaunscrambled.com, where you can hear all previous shows as well. They're all podcasted. On Twitter, we're at SM Unscrambled. Facebook, Google+, iTunes, and Stitcher. We're here today. We have a great guest. I'm Chris Curran. I'm a show host and producer here at Fractal Recording. And David, you're the founder and chief strategist of Synergy Social.
That's correct, sir.
Yeah, and we're live on this MixLR platform, so you guys can go ahead and log in and you can actually chat from there. And there's actually an iPhone app too, MixLR. They can get it and listen and chat right from their iPhone. But we're here with a great guest in studio. We're so happy to have him, and I just want to give a little intro for this show. You know, the nature of social media is ever growing and ever changing, right? We kind of all know that. And social media leaders basically find better ways to reach more people. So our guest today is totally walking this cutting edge, walking this fine line here, and we're happy to have him here. Dino Dogan, founder of Triberr. Well, you also say you're a lousy martial artist and a global force of badassery, but you're basically the founder of Triberr, and we're going to find out what else. So welcome to the show, Dino.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. You make me sound good, man. I want you doing my eulogy.
Do we have any plans for that?
No, not yet.
Good.
Wow, so we're here. You know, the focus of today is obviously going to be Triberr, which is a platform that you basically founded. And I want to know what it is. Like, what is the line you give people when people say, well, what is Triberr? Like, how do you just explain it simply?
I try to do some discovery prior to actually explaining what Triberr is, right? I ask people, are you a blogger or are you not a blogger, right? And if they're not a blogger, then I just say it's a social network for bloggers. Right, because you can connect with other bloggers, you can tap into each other's audience and whatnot. But if you are a blogger, then it's the best way to get traffic to your site. It's the best way to get attention for your blog posts. And I say that as someone who is a blogger, as someone who was looking for these ways and they didn't exist, so we made it.
Let's take a step back. Yesterday, I wrote a blog post. The blog post is called "Grandpa, Please Stop Poking My Boyfriend."
We've heard of that.
Yes. And then we heard all kinds of things about all kinds of pokes. So, which we're not going to talk about on the air. However,
we're going to talk about it in a blog post tomorrow.
That's right.
Facebook pokes, by the way, listeners.
Yes, pokes on Facebook. So I wrote this blog post. How do I use Triberr? I've signed up to Triberr. I've connected through. You can integrate your Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn account or all of them to sign in. You go to Triberr.com, click the button, it puts them together. Now what?
Yeah, so let's say you're in a tribe with 20 other bloggers. Maybe you belong to 2 or 3 tribes. Each of them has 10, 15, 20, 30 bloggers, however many, right? Well, every time you publish a blog post, Triberr automatically imports that blog post and brings it to a tribal stream. Right? It's a lot like Facebook newsfeed.
Okay.
Right? And people can hover over the approve button. We don't want people clicking. It's all about lowering the cost of transaction, right? We want to save people some carpal tunnel down the road, right?
Nice.
You don't even have to click. You just hover over the approve button. And if you connected your Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, then that post gets scheduled out for delivery. It gets queued up and whatnot. So you don't have to set the time. Triberr takes care of the whole thing.
Let's take another big step back here, because I want to know, for the person out there who's never used this before, what is a tribe? Why do I join it? How do I join it? And then how do I go ahead and manage this stuff and then ultimately get that greater feedback?
Once you're inside a tribe, it's awesome, right? It's especially if the chief has taken a good approach to tribe building, right? Especially if the chief is looking at each blogger and making sure that the content is really good and whatnot. Once you join that tribe, man, you're in. I mean, you see your traffic. Originally, we called Triberr tagline was double your traffic, but we found that not to be true. We found that it would triple and quadruple your traffic overnight.
So you don't have to go on a vision quest or on a walkabout to join the
Not
tribe.
yet.
Okay, that would be cool though.
That would be cool.
So
That'd be cool. Anything you were talking a little bit earlier that there's hints of something new coming up at Triberr? Can you talk about that now or mention anything?
Yeah, sure. I can talk about it. So for the last 4 months or so, we've been experimenting with this thing that collectively we're calling influence marketing. Influence marketing is nothing new. Brands have been paying celebrities to be their spokesperson for a long time. Michael Jordan's my favorite example. Air Jordans to this day are the highest selling Nike shoe, right?
Wow.
Not every brand can afford Michael Jordan. Right? And there's only one Michael Jordan. Right? So if a brand could hire, Chris, on your own, you may not be able to move a needle for Nike.
Right.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily be relevant to Nike, but let's assume that you are.
I ran a half marathon 2 years ago.
There you go, right? But
stand corrected, Dino.
100 Chris's can move the needle for Nike.
Right.
The challenge for Nike is finding those 100 relevant bloggers, because in my mind, blog is where the seat of the power. Bloggers are the celebrities of the future. Bloggers are the online influencers, right? The only other people that are online are either celebrities, who are certainly influencers, right? Or your friends who are accidental influencers. There's only bloggers who are intentional, purposeful audience builders, trust builders, influence builders. So when you join Triberr, we suck in all your content, all your blog content. And now it's indexed, searchable. I've learned a new term called disambiguation. So Alchemy API performs disambiguation. Look it up, kids.
Wow.
Say that 10 times fast.
Is that painful?
A little bit.
I'm hurt by listening to it.
And just like you do a Google search, I can search for people who are into fitness, for example, if I'm Nike, or whatever group of keywords you want to search for. And you can recruit bloggers into your campaign tribe. That's what we're calling it, right? It's a new way for bloggers to monetize their content. It's the right way for bloggers to monetize their content. Instead of being, having silly ads on their blog, they can be a brand ambassador. They can be a brand advocate for, let's say, a month or two. It's no longer, guys, I'm sorry I had to write this crappy blog post to pay the rent. It's sponsored by so-and-so, right? It goes from that to, guys, I'm now a brand advocate for so-and-so.
Yeah.
Right? And completely reframes the relationship.
Right, and bloggers are going to be a brand advocate for something they like for real anyway. They're not just
it's the part of the deal of the campaign is that the support must be genuine and enthusiastic.
We really want to thank Dino Dogan, the founder of Triberr, for coming on our show. Just go to triberr.com. That's Triberr with 2 R's at the end. I use it like crazy. I love it, and it's so cool to try new things and get on there. And I'm real big on efficiency and problem solving.
Yep.
And it's like when someone comes up with an idea that solves 86 problems, I love it. I just love it. So Dino Dogan, thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
guys.
much.
Yeah, and
Social Media Unscrambled, the radio podcast show with Chris and Dave, is awesome. These guys have a great setup over here. They do podcasts for other podcasters as well. And it's a great setup. I love this space. So I'm looking forward to coming back here.